I'm really excited about today's show because March is National Nutrition Month, and we have two registered dietitians here from Aging Partners. I'm Dolores Lintel, and we are going to be talking today about how to help plan our meals and eat well as we grow older. Welcome, Denise, and welcome, Paula, to the show. We're so happy to have you here today. We will be talking first, I think, if you would, to help us with some tools to help us shop well and plan our meals well. So let's start with the basic label. Explain how to read the food label on the packaging.
Great. I always tell everyone we have these wonderful tools available to all of us to purchase and consume a really great diet, because we all know good health is essential as we get older or at any age, but we need to be using the advice and the tools that are available. The nutrition label, the nutrition facts label, is on every product that we buy at the grocery store. There are some things that do not have a nutrition label, but they have a standard of identity, and that's part of the labeling laws.
And that would be like raw vegetables and those kind of things?
Ketchup or peanut butter, some of those things don't necessarily have a nutrition label. The nutrition facts label is broken down into several parts. It includes both the portion size and then it includes the calories. So if you're looking to reduce your calories, you need to be looking at that. The second or the third part of the label includes the major nutrients in it, including the fats, carbohydrates, and protein. And you can look at that and see if it's a good source of protein or a good source of certain types of nutrients. The other part of the label is towards the right, and it is the percent of the daily value. And that's based upon a diet that I believe is 2,000 calories a day. And so if you're consuming a lot more than that or a lot less, it has less relevance to that. But
but that would give you a basis to judge what your percentage of that particular item
would be. Now, not every food can provide all the nutrients for the whole day, so you need to be thinking about how you can put together different labels from different products that can provide you a good diet every day.
Now how does it break down with the fat contents and the cholesterol contents? Are those identified on the label as well?
Yes, they are, and the type of fat is there. And we are all concerned about the saturated fat, which would be the firm, solid fats, and we're trying to reduce
fats.
Reduce that consumption. So you'll be looking for the types of fat that are in that product. Some nutrition labels are very easy to read because the product maybe perhaps has a single ingredient, such as
a complex.
Other processed foods have a lot of ingredients, and so you'll be seeing, and perhaps it's fortified, so you'll be seeing a lot of information on that label. The other tool to put together is the MyPlate advice, and that is what I am encouraging a lot of people to look at their plate every day and see if half of your plate is fruits and vegetables. And I brought my little example.
So this illustrates, this is a new pyramid, I understand.
Well, it's the new plate. Because we're getting away from the pyramid and we're going to MyPlate, and we're advising people at least half of that plate should always be fruits and vegetables. And I have arrayed here. I
was going to say, we've got all kinds of charts here.
Ideas of adding fruits and vegetables. And we also included the very colorful fruits and vegetables. And the color in the fruit or the vegetable is indicative usually of the amount of phytochemicals in it. And those are all minor nutrients that we need every day.
So the brighter the color, the better they are for you?
Well, they're more likely to have the lycopene or the zeaxanthin or the anthocyanins, which are all essential phytochemicals that we're finding that are essential for good health. So half of your plate fruits and vegetables, and half of it in those fruits and vegetables should be very colorful. We advise people around 9 servings a day of fruits and vegetables, and that's a lot.
Does potatoes count as a vegetable?
Potatoes are a vegetable.
Okay.
But French fries and what is another vegetable that everyone eats a lot of? Mashed potatoes. You know, those very white, don't have a lot of color, so they wouldn't have a lot of these wonderful micronutrients that we're seeing.
And they'd have an awful lot of starch content, I would think.
Well, and French fries, you know, are very high in fat, so that I don't like to see a plate that's half French fries.
Okay.
Let's look at a plate that perhaps is half tossed salad with a romaine, or perhaps a red apple, or perhaps some tomatoes.
And then a cooked vegetable in addition to that?
In addition to that.
Okay.
And fruit juices and vegetable juices are another way of getting your 9 servings in, but we all know that, you know, they can add up to calories, and they're missing some of the sugar, they're missing some of the fiber, and they're high sources of sugar. So not always the best choice for getting your fruits and vegetables, but if you're down to the end of the day and short on servings, you know, have that small 6-ounce serving of vegetable juice.
And how do you get sufficient protein throughout the day?
Protein is essential to maintain our muscle mass and allow us to have be active, which is also one of the dietary guidelines. And we recommend that people have a good source of protein at every meal.
Okay.
We look for protein. About a 3-ounce serving would be about 23 grams of protein, and we recommend that at least
for each meal.
For most meals. At breakfast, you might look at a cheese or a yogurt or an egg as your protein source.
Or toast and peanut butter.
Toast and peanut butter. See, you know all this. But I've been talking a lot throughout at our nutrition sites, educating people about breakfast, that it's important to eat breakfast, and that people that have the best nutritional status are people that eat breakfast. And that breakfast can be a combination of, it doesn't have to be toast and egg, it could be pizza, it could be cottage cheese. Those are all good sources of protein for breakfast.
So everybody's taste and everybody's likes and what's in the refrigerator even makes a difference on what you eat for breakfast.
Right, and so I've been reading, if you go down the grocery aisles, there is a multitude of breakfast bars. So I've been reading a lot of labels on breakfast bars. And I recommend that people look at the fiber, because breakfast can be a good source of fiber in the day. Let's try to strive for 4 grams of fiber. Let's not have more than 6 grams of sugar. Now, a cereal bar would have a lot of carbohydrate, but let's try to avoid the concentrated sugars, and then looks for at least 6 grams of protein. Add a glass of milk to that, and you have a pretty good start to your day.
Okay. Now, getting the protein then at the noon meal when you have sandwiches or something, the sandwich meats seem to have a lot of salt or sodium in them, and that's something that probably isn't too good on a day-by-day basis to have sandwiches every noon.
Not the processed meat, because you're really adding the sodium to your diet, and that is one of the new dietary guidelines, is for us all to read those labels and look for the sodium content.
So how do we do something other than a meat sandwich?
A lunch meat?
Yeah.
I think you could think about the night before, if you're cooking chicken breasts or something, cook an extra one that you could have part of that for your lunch the next day.
Put it in a salad?
Put it in a salad. All good options for...
Now beans and peas and those kind of things contain protein as well?
Yes, they do. They're good sources of protein. Nuts, legumes, peanut butter, those are all protein sources that would be depending on how you cook them or how you buy them. If you cook them from the dry, you can determine how much salt you add. If you're going to have canned products, you need to read that label and see how much sodium has been added.
Split pea soup would be a tasty noon meal.
It would be.
And it would have the protein in, the split peas.
Yes, it would.
Okay. What about dairy products and the need for those in your diet? The vitamin D and the things you get from dairy products.
Calcium is always that elusive nutrient that we all need because it's important to maintaining the integrity of our bones. And if you're not a milk drinker, you're missing out. And so you need to be thinking about a calcium supplement, or you need to be thinking about some of the vegetable sources of calcium. Some of the dark greens, the broccoli.
So you can get calcium from vegetables as well.
Yes, you can. You need to be thinking about you know, what are good sources of some of those?
Well, and I realize as we age, sometimes we've got different problems. Maybe we've got high cholesterol and high blood pressure, and your husband has diabetes and overweight. So now we're looking at a very complex way of solving this. So I'm going to now ask Paula to jump in here because she's got a service available through Aging Partners where couples or individuals can come and get very specific help to enable them to eat healthy.
That's right. I'm a registered dietitian and I offer nutrition counseling services through the Aging Partners. This is a situation where I can provide nutrition therapy. I look at the individual food history, eating habits. I will review medications, lab work, body composition, and from that then I'm able to design a nutrition prescription that is unique to their nutrient needs. Then the next step is translating that into a menu or an eating pattern and taking some of these tools you talked about earlier, like the food label in the MyPlate diagram to help put that together for us. So for example, if an individual in the household, they have many different health conditions that require some dietary modification, I'm able to put that together for them as a package and also prioritize things.
So that you could actually help them develop menus that would get them through a week of grocery shopping so they know they have
and help them to focus on what's the priority. There's a lot of information out there and registered dietitians provide nutrition care that's evidence-based, so we know that it gets the outcomes that we're looking for to improve or promote the health of our clients.
Now, how does somebody avail themselves of that service if they know they have some problems and really need some guidance? How do they get in touch with you, and what's the process that you go through?
That's a good question. The point of contact is to go to our Aging Partners website, would be one option. On that website, we have a checklist that has been validated to be able to pick up if someone is having nutrition problems, maybe some malnutrition. And it says, I think, 10 questions, yes or no, and then they're welcome to fill that form out and return it to our office, mail it into our office. There are also phone number that I can be contacted for a nutrition appointment. And that number is 402-441-7159.
So they can, if they don't have access to a computer that they could access the website, they can call you. And do you get this information over the phone, or do they have to ask for this form to be sent to them, or how does that happen?
What will most likely happen is that I will inquire or contact them by the phone and go through these questions to determine if they might have a specific problem that they do need some contact and follow up with. We do provide this nutrition screen document to all of the individuals who dine at our senior centers here in town, so they have all been screened. And this screening tool is also used by our other caseworkers who come in contact with our clients, because we want to ensure that we're providing for their nutritional needs as well, because it's just part of the whole picture of promoting and maintaining health.
So if they then, you've done the preliminary work with them, then you can make an appointment with them and they would come down and talk to you in your office and work out very specific guidelines.
Yes, I sit with the individual or the couple and determine what the priorities are and what their questions are. And typically it's about, say maybe a 3-month follow-up to work with them as they go through this process of identifying what needs to be changed, how they can change it, and for them to be able to report back what's working, what's not working, so we can continue to get toward the goal that they've set for themselves.
It could almost be a change in lifestyle for some of them, and that would take some monitoring along the way to be sure they're doing what they need to do.
That's so true. The change in lifestyle that takes counseling and other approaches besides knowing what to eat. It's how do I do it?
Okay.
What should I change? How do I change? How do I promote options to help me get that to happen?
Right. Okay. Well, we want to be sure we've got the website up on the screen, so we know how to begin the process, and I hope you get a lot of people who come down and just keep you real busy, because I just think this is a very valuable service. There's so much good information, and as we age, we just have to keep working at staying healthy, and most of us, by the time you've in your mid-60s, are dealing with some kind of a health problem. I want to thank you both so much for coming. I think we've given out some good information that's been very helpful.
What does Medicare cover? How can I afford to keep living in my home? When I need help with house and yard work, who can I turn to? Why am I so tired? Am I eating right? Should I exercise? Where can I go for answers to my questions about aging?
Aging Partners is the place to call when you have questions on aging. Our experts are here to help you with unbiased answers for you or your loved ones. Aging Partners, we're only a phone call away.
Oh, my life is so busy. Between school, basketball practice, hobbies, friends, oh yeah, and homework. I run from one thing to another, so I need a snack that keeps my energy up and doesn't weigh me down. I have the best idea for snacks on the go. On grocery day, my mom and I wash and cut up all my favorite fruits and veggies. I mix fresh, frozen, even canned. It's all good. Then I pack them in snack boxes, one for each day of the week. I put one in my backpack and I'm good to go. Mom likes it because I eat it all and there's no waste, and she doesn't have to buy other snacks. She says that saves money, but all I know is that it tastes awesome. The boxes are reusable, and that saves money too. It's a great way to make half your plate fruits and vegetables. For more information, please visit choosemyplate.gov.